Welcome in. This is the inaugural NJCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. I'm Phil Constantino. This year's tournament features 12 teams, new from the past. 8 automatic qualifiers who are district champions, and for the very first time in D3, 4 at-large selections. So let's take a look at this unique bracket. The national championships will be played this year, Wednesday, March 11th through Saturday, March 14th at the Rochester Regional Sports Center in Rochester, Minnesota. These new first-round games will be played on Wednesday, March 11th, the quarterfinals on Thursday, March 12th, the semifinals on Friday, March 13th, and the national championship game on Saturday, March 14th. If you're in the first round, you will have to win 4 games in 4 days to claim the national championship. Let's meet the participants in this year's bracket. The number 9 seed is an automatic qualifier, the champion of the Great Lakes District, Columbus State Community College out of Ohio. Took down Rock Valley in the district championship game after a 1-year hiatus. The Cougars are back in the national tournament. It's their 5th tournament appearance in the program's history. They were runner-up in Division II in 2008, and this is the 2nd time in their 3-year D3 tenure that Columbus State has reached the national tournament. They will meet in at-large selection, the 8th seed, Herkimer County Community College from upstate New York. Out of Region 3, Herkimer was the North District runner-up after losing the title game to Mohawk Valley. They finished number 8 in the final national poll with a 22-7 overall record. The Generals' resume good enough to get them in. This is their 9th all-time national tournament appearance. Twice they've won a national championship, including last year. The number 1 overall seed, the Flyers of Sand Hills Community College. The Mid-Atlantic District champions, they're the number 1 ranked team in the country with a 31-2 overall record. They're red hot, winners of 15 straight games. They also feature the number 1 offense in the country with an average of nearly 106 points per game scored on average. 2nd straight tournament appearance for Sand Hills. The number 12 seed, the Community College of Rhode Island. Rhode Island is the East District champion. Took down 2nd-seeded Gateway by 10 in the title game. They've won 4 straight, led by 14th-year head coach Rick Harris. And watch out for Mitchell Noreska. 21 double-doubles this season. He averages 15 rebounds per game, which is the 3rd best mark in Division III. Rhode Island will face an at-large selection, Richland College out of Dallas, Texas. The Thunder Ducks were the South Central District runner-up, lost to Eastfield in the title game in a heartbreaker 63-61, but they're 22-5 overall this season and number 6 in the final national poll. Now, Richland did lose 3 of its last 5 games, but the 3-time D3 national champs who last won it in 2015 will have a shot at it this year as the number 5 overall seed. The first round bye from this quadrant goes to Rochester Community and Technical College. It'll be somewhat of a home environment, you'd think, for Rochester, the North Plains District champs, who beat St. Cloud Tech by 20 in the title game. Head coach Brian LaPlante is in his 24th season, and he finally seeks to break through 3 times a national runner-up. The Yellow Jackets last made the national championship game in 2016. They have a 25-5 overall record. So before we jump to the other side of the bracket, let's recap the left side. The first 6 teams to be announced here in our selection show. Sand Hills, the number 1 overall seed, gets a first-round bye and will meet the winner of Herkimer in at-large selection and Columbus State in the quarterfinals on March 12th. Richland and Rhode Island will meet in a first-round game on Wednesday, and Rochester, who also gets a first-round bye, will face the winner of that contest in the quarterfinals on the Thursday of this tournament weekend. Let's jump to the other side of the bracket. The number 10 seed is an at-large selection, Nassau Community College from Long Island. The Northeast District runner-up lost to Hostas in the title game, but they're back in the tournament for the first time after missing the tournament last year. They made it last in 2018 and made it all the way to the national championship game. Finished number 11 in the final poll with a 24-7 overall record. Nassau will face Montgomery County Community College, who took down 15th-ranked Philadelphia in the North Atlantic District Championship game. They are red hot of late. 14 straight wins, most notably, though, by an average of 25 points per game during that stretch. The number 1 defensive team in the country, allowing opponents to score less than 60 points per game on average. The 2 seed in this quadrant, who gets a first-round bye, Mohawk Valley Community College. North District champs beat Herkimer by 18 in the title game. Herkimer, as we mentioned, is an at-large selection into this field. That win completed a 14-0 home record this season for Mohawk Valley. 16 consecutive wins is the longest active winning streak in Division III. They haven't lost in 51 days. Last loss came back on January 14th. We jump to the final quadrant of this 12-team bracket here in our inaugural year with at-large selections. And the final of the 4 at-large teams to make it, St. Cloud Technical and Community College from St. Cloud, Minnesota. The North Plains District runner-up did lose to Rochester for the second time this season in the district championship game, but the Cyclones are in. They started the year 20-0, were the only remaining unbeaten team in early February, did sputter down the stretch, lost 3 of their last 8, including those 2 to Rochester, but they did finish 25-3 overall, finished in the top 10 of the national poll, and St. Cloud is in as the final at-large selection of the 4 at-larges here in this inaugural year with the 12 teams in the men's D3 bracket. St. Cloud will face, in the opening round, Hostas Community College, the Northeast District champs. They defeated Nassau Community College by 1. Nassau, we mentioned before, is in this field. They've won 8 straight games, and they are the only program to qualify for the 2020 national tournament in both men's and women's basketball. They play at a very fast pace, too. Number 1 team in the country, steals per game. They also score more than 95 points per game on average. The final of the 12 teams to be announced in our selection show, the South Central District champions Eastfield College out of Mesquite, Texas, defeated 6th-ranked Richland in the championship game. This is their first tournament appearance since 2016. 3 times the runner-up, 1 time the national champs back in 1997. As recently as 2013, this team was a runner-up finisher. So the right side of our bracket looks like this. Mohawk Valley and Eastfield get the opening round byes. They are through to Thursday. And by virtue of being a top 4 seed, Montgomery County will face Nassau in at-large selection. Hostas meets St. Cloud in at-large selection. The winners of the opening round games will move on to face Mohawk Valley and Eastfield, respectively, in the quarterfinals on Thursday. Our bracket in its totality. Sand Hills is the number 1 overall seed. Mohawk Valley, Eastfield, Rochester are the 4 who earn first-round byes. Our at-large selections this year, 4 of them in this new bracket style here in D3 NJCAA men's basketball. Coming up after this quick break, we will hear from Mike Apple. He is the head coach of top-seeded Sand Hills. Stay with us.
It started in the city.
It started on a sandblock.
It started on a Sunday.
The focus.
The drive.
The dream.
You knew how it felt.
You knew we needed the tools necessary.
You knew we needed funds to travel to tournaments.
You provided me with the best equipment.
You gave me opportunity.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
We were true to the game before there was a game, loyal to the ball before there were buckets. When Spalding created our first basketball in 1894, we didn't follow the competition. We set the standard, and we never stopped innovating, improving, adapting to meet the changing needs of the player and the game. We didn't make the rules. We made the ball.
Earning an advanced degree in many industries is the key to advancing your career. Knowing this, Midway University has designed its master's programs around key industries in the region. Midway offers a Master in Education, an MSN for nurses, and an MBA degree with 4 areas of specialization.
Midway has prepared me to take that next step in my career. It's given me the skills and the abilities to go from a midline manager to a senior level manager.
Learn how Midway can advance your career at midway.edu.
Welcome back to the NJCAA Division III Men's Basketball Selection Show. I'm Phil Constantino. The number 1 overall seed in this year's tournament is Sand Hills Community College. 31-2 their overall record. They've won 15 consecutive games. Head coach Mike Apple is kind enough to join us and carve out a few minutes from his schedule. Coach, congratulations on the success this season and achieving the top seed in this tournament. Wondering what all this success at this specific school means for you. You're a Moore County, North Carolina native, and now you're the head coach at Sand Hills Community College in Moore County.
First of all, thanks, Phil. We're extremely excited about what we've been able to accomplish this year, and we're excited about getting a chance to go to Minnesota next year, here in just a few days to play for a national championship. As you said, yes, I am a Moore County native. I went to school here in Moore County. I went to younger grades. I went through high school. It's a great honor coaching at Sand Hills Community College. My mother worked here for a number of years. I kind of grew up here at this school. I've been fortunate enough to be able to coach here for 9 years. It's a great feeling. Just seeing the growth of our basketball program. We're playing now in front of packed houses, and I've got relatives. I've got, my wife, my children, my sons, their children. I've got my parents, my uncles, aunts, people that I played basketball with in high school, people that coached me in high school, coming to these ball games. So it's a thrill, and we've been very fortunate to have a really nice team this year.
15 straight wins. Would you say you're peaking at the right time?
Well, I hope so. Again, we try very hard to take it one game at a time, and we feel like we're playing good basketball right now. Certainly, there's always things that you want to tweak, always things that you can work on based on how you played last game, and I think that's where we are right now. Our guys are extremely excited about what's to come, though.
You made last year's tournament. You've built this program back up, and now you're the number 1 overall seed in this year's tournament. How did that success last year prepare you for a chance at winning a national championship this year?
Well, we were fortunate enough to take with us last year 7 guys that were in our program last year that got a great taste of the Minnesota atmosphere, the national championship tournament, what it was all about. And to a man this year, they came back with the idea that they wanted to go back. And I'm telling you, Phil, they really wore me out early in the season with talking about Minnesota and how they wanted to get back, to the point where I told them, you need to kind of, think about the next game, think about the next practice, and not worry so much about what that final destination may be. But I've just been real thankful for those guys, and the fact that they made it their mission. It was such a sense of accomplishment to find out that we're going to be back in and then have a chance to play in Minnesota again.
Tell us a little bit about Sayon Dent. He's your leading scorer and he's your leading rebounder. He's averaging nearly a double-double. What kind of kid is he off the court? What kind of kid is he on the court?
Sayon came to us by way of Lander University in South Carolina. Sayon is a mature kid. He is well respected by not just his teammates here at Sand Hills, but also our faculty. Very, very mild-mannered guy, very softly spoken. That being said, he plays incredibly hard. He has the respect of his teammates. They do a great job of looking for him, finding him. As far as his game is concerned, I've told many people he kind of has an old-school game. He's very good around the basket. Something that he worked tremendously hard on this past summer was really adding a dimension to that game on the perimeter, and I think that's one of the reasons he's really exploded this year and had such a good season. Is he's so versatile. I know in baseball they talk about 5-tool players. Sayon is a multi-versatile kid on our basketball floor. He does a great job rebounding. He's one of our best defensive players, and he shoots the ball extremely well, along with having some nice inside moves. So he's very versatile, and just been a pleasure to coach this year.
You have the number one offense in the country. You average nearly 106 points per game. What makes your offense so unique?
Well, I think two things. First of all, we are committed to playing as fast as we possibly can. And, people give lip service to that a whole lot, but it takes a lot of work. I mean, first of all, your basketball team needs to be well conditioned. And our kids take a lot of pride in being well conditioned, and that doesn't come easily, because it's no fun, at the first of the year, getting into the kind of shape that it takes to play as fast as we play. The other thing that I think is unique to Sand Hills is that we try to employ as many players as we can. We have 14 guys on our roster right now, and usually all 14 will play in the game, and I'm not just saying they'll play 1 or 2 minutes, but they'll all get substantial minutes to where they can contribute. And I think that kind of lends itself to guys really pulling for one another, and really working hard together. And that's what we've been able to accomplish this year.
Lastly, Coach, this is the first year with 12 teams in the D3 tournament and at-large selections qualifying for the national tournament. Do you like the adjustments and the addition of at-larges, and how might this change the tournament for you, given the fact that your opponent in the quarterfinals will have already played a game?
Oh, don't remind me, Phil. Yes, that's a heck of a difference, and I think from a fan's perspective, it's going to be great, because you're going to have teams that are, I guess, by the seeding purposes, are favored to win a ball game coming in cold, whereas the team that they're going to play has already won a game the day before and has already gotten their feet wet, so to speak. This is my 4th trip to a national tournament, and I'm always excited about it, and always amazed how good the competition is. And I can just imagine now, with instead of 8 teams, 12 teams, it's just going to be more so. I think that very first day, when those teams are playing there for the right to advance, is going to be a very exciting day. And then the next day, when those teams that win play the teams that had to bye, that's going to be an incredible day in the tournament too. I just hope we're prepared for it.
Head coach Mike Apple of Sand Hills Community College, the number 1 overall seed in the NJCAA D3 men's basketball tournament. Coach, congrats on the success. Thanks so much for the time, and all the best of luck.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
So about at-large selections, this is the first year of them, and there are 4 of them. It's pretty important business here for D3 and the NJCAA. Let's take a look at the 4 at-large teams who got in without an automatic qualifying berth for winning a district championship, but because of their resume. Here they are, the 4 at-large teams. Richland, Herkimer, Nassau, and St. Cloud. You'd have to think that Onondaga had a chance, but just missed out. That's part of what this new format will bring. So here's a final check of the 12 teams, the entirety of this bracket. Again, March 11th through 14th at the Rochester Regional Sports Center in Rochester, Minnesota. These games will be played. Herkimer versus Columbus State, the 8-9 matchup, is the first game of the day that Wednesday, followed by Richland and Rhode Island at 2 p.m. Central Time. Game number 3 is the 7-10 matchup between Montgomery and Nassau. That tips at approximately 4 p.m. Central Time, and Hostas and St. Cloud will tip at approximately 6 p.m. Central Time to wrap up the 4 games in the first round on that Wednesday. And then they'll play 4 games in order. On the Thursday, the winners of all those contests will get through to meet their respective opponents. Sand Hills, the number 1 overall seed, Mohawk Valley 2, Eastfield 3, Rochester 4 are the 4 teams to earn a bye in this new format of NJCAA Division III men's basketball. Well, that does it for our selection show. A reminder, for more tournament information, go ahead and visit NJCAA.org. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck to all of the participants. Hope you enjoy the new format as well. For the NJCAA, I'm Phil Constantino.